do love this car. I remember when we picked it up and transported it back here from interstate that my son took the keys. The pop banging of the exhaust and the meshing of the straight cut gears was such that when we got home he said, "Dad, you've finally got a proper car." I first saw an Austin-Healey when I was a 10-year-old. That was the very rare 100S, and I ultimately owned that same car 43 years after I'd first seen it, which, if you work all that out, tells you how old I am. So the Healey mark has always attracted me, named for Donald Healey, who was an engineer. He was also a Royal Flying Corps pilot in the First World War. He competed, including winning the 1931 Monte Carlo Rally, breaking many, many records at the Bonneville Salt Flats. It was natural that the Healey cars were built both as road-going sports cars, but primarily as reliable competition cars. And so the big Healeys, of which 57 FAC is a prime example, they were very successful in rallying and also on the racetrack. The Sebring 12-hour race was primarily for sports cars, and it was entered by all the prominent sports car makes. Drivers like Sterling Moss and Jim Clark and John Surtees, they were all regulars at Sebring, so it was an important event. There were just 5 of these blue and white Sebring cars prepared by the Donald Healey Motor Company. 3 of them ran in 1963, of which this car is one of the team. The engine is the 3-litre straight-six Austin-Healey engine. They have a special Westlake head, special high-lift camshaft, 3 Weber carburetors, which are very obvious when you lift the bonnet on this car. In fact, it looks like the engine's attached to the carburetors. They have aluminium bodies, dual-circuit braking, dual-circuit wiring. It has a massive fuel tank which fills pretty much the entire boot, 4-wheel disc brakes, a straight-cut gearbox. So, yeah, many, many things that make this an out-and-out racer. They're very, very reliable. Back in the period we're talking about, it was quite common to drive your racing car to the track, throw the spare out, race it round the track, and then with not much rubber left on the tyres and probably very soft brakes, you drove it home. Even today, one of the appeals of this car is we can exercise it on a racetrack, but it's also very tractable to drive in normal traffic on normal roads. There's a whole raft of sensations that go into driving the Healey, and it performs as well as it looks. It has awesome acceleration, it corners beautifully, it makes so many mechanical, raspy, throaty noises that are unique to this combination of engineering, and it's just a great thing to drive. It's an example of something that looks good and goes well. I think all of us who are beset with the car passion, we admit, at least to ourselves, that standing alone in the garage looking at the car is a spellbinding experience. And I do find this Healey captures my attention, whether it's the Barani wheels, whether it's the tyres hanging slightly out of the mudguards, whether it's the purposeful stance. I do indulge in the odd visual inspection, and I have to say it never disappoints.